All right, head coach Rob Talley heading into Bentley's Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Hey, coach, let's start a little bit with Bentley. Certainly no bigger week on the calendar, Stonehill Bentley game, and having it at home this week. Just talk about what it means to the guys and the program, and it's kind of one of those dates you circle on the calendar.
Yeah, well, it definitely is. And I think it's kind of interesting too because they've probably had more success in this series. We compete against them from a recruiting standpoint. So we feel like we're very similar schools from that aspect, and we've had some really great football games, even in my time here. But if you go back to when we were both Division III teams, that's where the history really takes place, where it always came down to the Bentley Stonehill game to decide who was winning the championship. So it's definitely there's a little more. Records don't mean a whole bunch. I think both of us are playing pretty well right now. So if anything, that just adds to it.
Back up a little bit to last week at Assumption, probably one of the craziest, wildest games I've ever watched. And, we've come off the field, unfortunately, after losses. And one of the things you've usually tipped in to say is these tight games, we don't know how to win these games yet. I think Friday night you show that you know how to win those games. May it be just the confidence from the game at New Haven last year, or just building up the two previous games before that. Do you think that's why you're able to essentially come out with that win after being down by 14 three times?
Well, I think that too, and our kids just kept on plugging away. I just think an overall belief in what we're doing and each other, and at no point was there any finger pointing. At no point did anybody get down, and I think certain individuals on the team were really able to really step up their game, and people, got in line and followed their lead. So hopefully it says we're to a point where now let's start winning some of those close games, and we had several opportunities to do it, and so to me, even with that, I think it showed a lot about a lot of the team where we had so many highs and lows where a drop pass that we can win it in regulation, and then missing a field goal right at the end of regulation, all those highs and lows, and still being able to get the focus to to win that game really says a lot about the character we have on this football team.
Talked to Brian Harrington, Defensive Player of the Week. The defense, I know, is not happy with the points that they're allowing right now. But do you feel like after maybe that first quarter on Friday night that they maybe turned a little bit of a corner, really kind of held them in check from there on out?
Well, when you see, we gave up 230 yards in the first quarter. We gave up 460 overall. So we gave up half the yards in the fourth quarter and then really settled down. And if you look at the time of possession, it really gets flipped as the game goes. And I think that's because our defense is able to get off the field. And the biggest thing, our defense, they're able to get 3 turnovers, which was a big part of the game. So to me, we're not where we want defensively. We have a bunch of young kids playing, and not to make excuses, but you're gonna have mistakes. You're gonna have people screwing up, and until those guys get their feet underneath them. But as the game went, we kind of bear down. And our biggest thing is we just have to stop giving up big plays. Because even after that, the touchdowns we gave up after the first quarter were all big plays. So really just need to eliminate those and make people work down the field on us.
Off to the offensive side, though, the level of play they're having right now, the last 2 weeks. How much pressure does it take off them to know that, all right, well, now we're down 14-0, 21-7. The offense is going to get going here eventually.
Well, hopefully not going to take too much pressure off them because I don't want to be in too many of those situations. But I think it's nice to know that your offense can score some points. When you have that feeling, it gives you an opportunity to keep on fighting. Where there's just a belief in one another, belief in the offense, and I think the offense has a lot of faith in the defense to get their job done also. So it's nice that we've been able to get the ball on the perimeter, been able to run the football. So we've really been able to do some things, and guys are playing at a real high level.
Logan Meyer, gold helmet in the New England this weekend. We talked about it a lot last week, but just how much has he come along? And I mean, he's really just become one of the top quarterbacks in this conference.
Well, I think the biggest thing with Logan, and it was a lot of people wouldn't have seen it because if you understand, you wouldn't have heard him on our sidelines when we were down, when our defense was on the field. I mean, that's when it started. That's when he started talking. That's when he was, yelling at everybody, encouraging everybody to keep on fighting. And he told them, we're going to win this football game. And you could tell by his tone, by the way he came off, he meant every word of it. And then he went out on the field and he performed. So once again, to me, it was really great of him to kind of step out of his comfort zone. He's not, he doesn't talk a whole bunch. He's not the loudest kid, but he really believed that we were going to win. And I think him voicing that and then him going out and playing real well, once again, our kids just got in line and they believe what they were being told.
I want to talk about one play in particular that really, I think, solidified the comeback. In 4th and 6 at the 47, he down by a touchdown, and he hits Nate Robitaille for a touchdown. Zaire for a touchdown. Just talk about that play. What was the call? I think you guys had taken a timeout.
I believe actually they took a timeout. So. And on the play before that, we were expecting man, so we said, okay, let's go. We'll go with a double move. If they're going to overplay us, we're going to beat them over the top. They come out in zone, so we're still running a double move, but, it was a great block by Jamal Johnson on defensive end. He got him on the ground, and then Logan kind of kept the play alive, and Zaire was just started running, basically running to the open space, and, Logan saw him and put it up there. And then it's kind of one of those plays. I'm very lucky, yes. We talk about our players all the time. When stuff breaks down, we need our playmakers to step up and make plays. And to me, that's exactly what they did.
You mentioned the kicking, and you missed a couple of field goals. What's the message to him, to Steve, and to keep his confidence and move into this week? Keep moving on, move faster.
Well, the first one's tough. The first field goal he missed, the ball wasn't put down properly. So to me, he really didn't have a chance. And there's so many other things we look at. Even if he probably got a really good kick, we were terrible in protection. It might have been blocked. There's a guy running right up the A gap. So we have a lot of belief in him. Our players have a lot of belief in him. We're gonna keep on putting him in press situations in practice. And to me, the easiest way for him to gain the confidence back, and one thing I talked to him right after the game was, next time you're in a situation, you make that kick. Because he'll get another opportunity. We're gonna put him out on the field and give him an opportunity, and he'll respond.
So let's move back to Bentley this week. They come in on the top defenses statistically in the league right now, going against one of the top offenses statistically. Just talk about that matchup and what we're going to look forward to.
Well, to me, the biggest thing about their defense is always ranked towards the top of the league, if not at the top. So to me, they're a typical Bentley team. The biggest thing is they're probably younger than they've been in the past from an experience standpoint, but they play hard. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They keep things in front of them. They get you in a situation where you make mistakes. So to me, the biggest thing is going to come down to turnovers. Last year when we played them, we had a bunch. We had 2 on special team, 2 turnovers, and a couple on offense. So we can't turn the ball over, and so I think that's the biggest thing. Where you have we're playing well on offense, and and they're a good defense, but we have to take care of the football. And they're going to be trying to get them. We need to take care of football, and when we have opportunities to make big plays, we have to make them.
Much like Logan, a senior, with a lot of experience as your quarterback, they have one as well, and Danny Gardignoli. Just how he runs that offense.
Well, probably the biggest difference for him is probably running the ball a lot more. And I didn't know how good of an athlete he was till this year. When he started running the football some more. So to me, it becomes a little more of a threat, so something we're going to have to keep in mind and stay in our rush lanes. And we can't let him get in a groove because, once he does, he has some really good weapons on the outside. So and they're not afraid to throw it over the top. So we need to play smart football. We need to realize what they're doing. To me, the biggest thing, we have to stop their run first and foremost. They're a really good tailback, really shifty kid that can take it all the way. So focus on stopping the run and then try to get off the field on 3rd down.
It's family weekend here as well, so obviously Bentley always brings a big crowd. It'll obviously be amped up even more with that. But it's also Hall of Fame weekend here at the college. Former coach back in the 70s, Vern Laws, is going to the Hall of Fame. And I think he's going to speak to the team today before your last practice. Just talk about, having this people in this program represented when it comes to Hall of Fame time.
Well, I think it's great to have the atmosphere. To get great to get the parents, of not just our student athletes, but the regular student body, and give them opportunity to watch us play football. So that's a great opportunity there. So we're excited about it. Bentley will bring a big crowd. They'll be tailgating. They'll be up in the stands, and so I expect our fan base to try to match their intensity. And we're really honored, and I know personally myself, to have someone like Vern Laws, and someone I've never met but I've heard so much about from former players. And I think as every coach, you try to achieve his status, and not necessarily from a wins-loss percentage, but from how players feel about you when it's all said and done. And a lot of people really give him a lot of gratitude for keeping this program alive throughout the year. So if it wasn't for him, I may not be sitting in this office right now. So I definitely appreciate all the hard work he's put into this program, and hopefully he's seen the dividends of him fighting through those dark days. Come to light now.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win last week. Having a Hall of Fame inductee tonight, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.